So, did you hear? Top 30 is expanding. Starting September 11th, Top 30 will be airing daily on your TVs. So, check your local listings so you can join us as we give you 30 stories in 30 minutes. Now, maybe the story of the day, just incredible. A burn survivor's interaction with an orangutan at the Indianapolis Zoo has gone viral. Now, we have the woman from the video, Darci Miller, on the phone right now. Darci, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
Well, you know, Darci, everybody around the country, maybe the world, talking about your moment with Rocky. It's so amazing how we can all tell the story a different way. But now that we have you, how did it happen from your perspective? Take us back to the moment you came face to face with Rocky.
Well, I had gone to Indianapolis to the burn center to have one of my treatments done. And when I was done, we had, some time to spare, so we went ahead and went to the zoo. We had started from the beginning and walked around, and then we went to the new orangutan exhibit. We saw one of the orangutans. We stood there for a few minutes, and then we saw Rocky, and we immediately locked eyes, and he come over, and I went to the window that he was at, and he immediately was just in awe with everything I had going on with the bandages on my neck and my scars and just everything else.
You know, watching the video, I feel something. I feel like Rocky has real human emotion. That time you guys lock eyes and then he starts gesturing. I think everybody's saying they feel compassion, they feel empathy. Did you feel that emotion coming from him?
Oh, yeah, I did. I wanted to give him a big hug. I wanted to be able to actually talk to him, and I wanted him to be able to speak to me and tell me what was on his mind instead of me just trying to guess, what he wanted to see or what, he was interested in.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no audible language, obviously, but his gestures I think the most touching point for me, at least, was when he gestured to kind of move your bandage. Did you clearly understand that?
At first I was like, no. And then my fiance was standing there with me and he was like, yeah, he wants to see your neck. So I went ahead and pulled the bandages down and I let him see, and he got closer to the glass and he just kept staring and he kept pointing and kept staring. And so, yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned you just finished treatment. You went to the zoo. Tell me about how difficult a road to recovery this has been for you.
It's definitely had its ups and downs. I have had several surgeries, so that's, one toll. It's also a mental struggle and a physical struggle. I mean, there's lots of doctor's appointments and physical therapy and just everything else that's going on. So, I mean, being able to go to the zoo on this particular day and having this interaction was definitely one of the upsides of the whole experience, the whole accident, everything.
Yeah. How long did that interaction last? Because we see just a little snippet, but how long did it really last?
I think the video was only like a minute and 10 seconds, but we were actually there with him for about 20 minutes. And I would say about 5-10 minutes into us interacting was when I said, hey, get this on video. So he started recording. We actually stood there for, another 10 minutes, and there were quite a few people around, and I didn't want to take all of his time.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and we left, and we walked around the rest of the zoo, and just so I could see if it was going to be a fluke or not, I decided, I said, let's go back to the exhibit and see if he remembers me. So we actually, on our way back through, getting ready to leave the zoo, we had stopped back by the exhibit, and as soon as I walked in the door, he remembered who I was.
That's incredible. And that happened when the cameras weren't rolling. So it's amazing that you guys kind of have this bond. Do you feel like you have a bond?
I hope so. I mean, I hope it's not just some fluke thing. We do hope to go back to the zoo and see if he remembers who I am. Yeah. Right now, I don't have bandages. I'm healed enough that I don't have to wear them anymore. But I do plan, maybe if I do go back, to take just a couple things with me that he might remember.
Yeah.
Maybe even just me wearing the same shirt so he can see, once again, see if maybe I can have the same experience again.
Yeah. Well, this experience, no doubt, I think has inspired a lot of people. I'd imagine it's a much needed break for you along your, painful road to recovery. But the coolest thing about this, Darci, is I think a lot of people are going to be inspired. So to other people going through maybe a tough time, do you have any advice that you maybe could offer to them?
Don't shelter yourself. take the time out for yourself. From the beginning of my accident, to this day, I take pictures of every procedure, every doctor's appointment, everything, so I can see how well I'm healing just from day one to now. So when I do get down, I can say, hey, yeah, you have made a lot of progress. Don't beat yourself up over it.
Yeah.
I just continue to constantly do that. And, I don't hide what happened. So anytime somebody asks me a question or wants to know what happened, I'm more than willing to talk to them about the situation, and that helps as well.
Darci, let me tell you, you are so inspiring. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so happy this story has gone viral because I think so many people will be touched. I know it's kind of a whirlwind now that when something goes viral, then your phone kind of starts ringing off the hook. How are you dealing with all the attention?
Really not bad. It's not really, I don't know. A lot of it has been local, so, and it's a lot of people that I do know. So that's one thing. I'm from a small town, and I've lived here pretty much my whole life. So, but you guys getting a hold of me, and that's kind of surreal.
Well, you know what? As far as we're concerned, the more the better, because your story is one that needs to be heard. Thank you so much, Darci, for joining us here on Top 30.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, go back to those kiddos.
All right.
Okay, if you at home want to chat with us about this incredibly touching story, feel free to leave a comment and we'll get to it later in the show. Now we're going to dive into more of your Top 30 stories.